Hey nerds, and welcome to Supergirl, Theories and Conspiracies. I'm Brian from Good Nerd, Bad Nerd, and this week was the episode Bizarro, and this was a great episode. We finally got to see this fight that's been building for a few episodes. Bizarro was great. She was exactly as she was supposed to be. She was the opposite of Kara, the opposite of Supergirl, and that's what she is in the comic. And, you know, from her powers to how they defeat her with the blue kryptonite. Blue kryptonite comes straight from the comics. It's kryptonite that, like green kryptonite, affects Superman and Kryptonians. The blue kryptonite just affects Bizarros. And so it was nice to see a villain defeated by something other than Kara just punching them a lot. Now, blue kryptonite is from, originally appeared in Superman number 140, all the way back in 1960. So it's been around for a while. And it was great to see them use that and create that for the show and bring that into this television continuity. The next thing that came out from this episode, and take this with a grain of salt, but it seems very likely that this was a shout out to a character by Prometheus. And Prometheus was the company that was being used by Maxwell Lord to transfer the 7 girls that he would be experimenting on. Prometheus in the comic was a DC villain who basically was setting out to defeat justice. His parents were criminals that were killed by cops, and he blames the justice system and the champions of justice for that. It's kind of a stretch, but it's very similar to how Maxwell Lord has talked about how he blames the government and essentially justice for the death of his parents because they didn't do things right, and that's why he doesn't trust the government. So this could be a nice parallel and a nice shout out there. The final thing this week, and this comes from that last little hit at the end of the episode, that strange cocoon and then the plant. This is the Black Mercy. A lot of people may not be familiar with this, but if you've seen the Justice League cartoons, there was an episode, and this is directly based off the comic, for the man who has everything. In the comic, and pretty much in the cartoon, it's Superman's birthday, and in the comic you have Robin, Batman, and Wonder Woman going to the Fortress of Solitude for his birthday to, you know, give him some presents. And when they get there, they find him already entrapped by this plant. And he's in a coma, and the plant is stuck to him and wrapped around his chest. It's at that time that the villain Mongol steps out of the shadows and reveals that this plant puts its people into a coma and gives them basically whatever will make them happiest. But while it's doing that, it's draining their life, their bioenergy. And that's how the plant feeds. It's essentially a carnivorous plant to some extent. So a major fight ensues. Wonder Woman goes toe-to-toe with Mongol, but Mongol is a stronger, superior fighter and is about to kill her. But just at that time, Batman is able to get the Black Mercy off of Superman, trapping himself in its coma and unconscious state, because there are special gloves that you have to use to handle it. And that's when Superman goes and finally starts to wail on Mongol. The whole thing is only wrapped up when Batman is freed and they actually trap Mongol in the Black Death's, the Black Mercy's world. So it's a great episode because it puts the heroes through a really traumatic thing where they have to give up what they love and desire the most. For Kara, I think we're going to get an episode where she is seeing what her life would have been on Krypton had it not exploded. So we're going to have 2 different stories going along on this next week's episode, and I think that's going to be a really, really good show. So tell me what you think. A great episode, great fight. Really looking forward to what happens. Really looking forward to how they're going to keep Maxwell Lord in jail, but until next week, make sure to check out all my other theories. And if you're watching Agent Carter, join the after show on Wednesdays at 6:15 on thestream.tv. So until then, this has been Brian from Good Nerd, Bad Nerd, and this has been Supergirl, Theories and Conspiracies.